NASL supporters, we're back here once again with the Total NASL Roundtable. On this week, we're going to talk about Rayo OKC and some more league awards that have been handed out today. So, welcome back, Theo. The second night we're doing the show. How are you feeling?
It's Soccer Bowl week. I'm really excited. As you can see, I'm still excited. I'm excited because today we booked our hotel room. It's becoming real. We are coming to Long Island, and we are going to take over.
So the Fury supporters are going to take over Long Island?
Yeah, definitely. I know that one bus is full. That's all I'll say. One bus is full.
Does that mean that we will see a second bus or a third bus or maybe a fourth one?
I can't confirm that, but you will see at least 50 Fury supporters in that stand on Sunday afternoon.
I'm so excited. As Theo said, the Fury supporters are going to invade Hofstra. So I'm not looking forward to that. But let's get on with the show, talking about the big news coming out that Rayo OKC, a new expansion side, that is going to join next season. And that's crazy just because they joined the expansion news late. They were announced late. And just the thought of them joining in the spring, don't you think that's crazy just because they have all this time to put together a team, get a coach? But if you look at the other expansion sides, Puerto Rico, Miami FC, they only have a coach. They haven't signed any players yet. So don't you think that Rayo OKC, that they have enough time to put everything out there?
Well, it depends how far along they are in their planning. If this has all come together quickly and they have no plan, then yeah, it's quick. I know that when the Fury joined NASL, it was announced, I believe, in 2013. And Marc Dos Santos was hired in June or July. I think it was June of 2013. And he started work at that point assembling a team. But I do remember that it took a while for signings to be announced because the season was still going on, and it's hard to sign players when the transfer window is closed. And so in that sense, they maybe have a plan in place already if they've been at this for a while. It doesn't feel that way. If you agree with me here, I don't know. Yeah. It seems like this is kind of cobbled together really quickly. There were rumors of it a few weeks ago, and then boom, yesterday we got the announcement that Rayo Vallecano, a Spanish club, is buying a stake in NASL. Essentially, they're buying in Oklahoma City. How do you feel about that? Like Oklahoma City. You're the American. You tell me what's going on over there.
Well, haven't been to Oklahoma. Now they're calling it the Soccer City just because they have two teams now. Okay. They have the Energy in the USL, and then now they have this NASL team, which should be the higher marquee team just because they may have more money than the Energy. But the Energy have a head start just because they have an established team. They have everything going for them. They have the support. They have everything. And I don't know if Oklahoma is big enough for two teams. Do you think so, or do you think?
Well, it's possible. I mean, it's certainly possible to have two teams in a city the size of Oklahoma City. The question is, why would NASL go there first? Like, there's so many markets that you could go and, I don't want to use the word poach, but you could convince the existing USL team to come up to Division 2, like a Detroit or a Sacramento or a Chattanooga, or all these big clubs that are in USL in third division who have that footprint already. So it's possible to have two teams there. I just question the idea that was the right move at this time. I don't know why Rayo Vallecano was so set on going to Oklahoma City. It's not, as if you're outside of the States, Oklahoma City is not seen as like a sexy market, like Miami or an LA or whatnot. But It's kind of weird. And can I just say that Rayo OKC is a dumb name. Like, that sounds awful. Rayo OKC. It's like Rayo. It ends with an O, starts with an O. It just doesn't roll off the tongue. I don't like it. I hate their logo. There's not much about this announcement that I like, except the fact that NASL is growing. That's a positive.
Well, just to clarify, their logo is from their La Liga team. Just the same exact thing. They just changed the Rayo OKC, which is their official name for the NASL team. Also, what sort of I like about this announcement is that I feel like everything is going to come quick. That when they announce the team, they announce their logo, they announce their name, they announce where they're going to play. And I feel like in the upcoming weeks, we're going to get more announcements of coaches, maybe players. But then the one issue after we saw the announcement that they're going to join the league officially, in Spain, they were getting upset that now they have a team here. I don't know the reasoning behind that. People say that it's money, that they don't have enough money to compete here in the United States. And I know they're just doing this just to grow their brand. I don't know if it would work. We just have to wait and see.
It's certainly a risk. Rayo Vallecano is not a top Spanish team. They bounce around the divisions there over in Spain, where they have promotion and relegation. And they are not known as a top team. And this is a big gamble for them. I understand the allure of what am I looking for? Of branding, of expanding your brand into the States, which is a market that's on the verge of exploding. And so to get your foothold here is interesting. And if it works out, it could make Rayo Vallecano a top Spanish club. But then, do teams in the U.S. want that? Do they want to become some sort of slush fund for a Spanish club, like sucking all the money out of Oklahoma City and sending it to Spain? Is that going to happen? It's a question that needs to be answered, and I haven't seen anyone ask it yet to the NASL or to the club. Maybe it has been. Maybe I just missed it. But I don't like much about this move. And here's the interesting thing. You now have 3 teams that are launching next year, correct?
Yes, Miami, Puerto Rico, and Rayo.
Right. So it's going to be an interesting offseason in terms of player acquisition. We're going to be scrambling every day with finding out about who these guys are that are being signed to these teams. That's exciting. Like player transfers and stuff is exciting for fans. So that's fun, and it's going to be good. So 3 teams, though. But here's the flip side. Atlanta, San Antonio are sort of in limbo right now. So are they going to lose? Are we going to lose 2 teams and gain 3? 2 steps behind, 3 steps forward? So it's interesting.
I think San Antonio is like a loss already. I just feel like they're just going to go. And I have 2 sides to it. Well, they were a decent team, but I just feel that if they want to go, just let them go. Let them go lower because they want to go to MLS eventually. But with Atlanta, I want to see if we can keep Atlanta somehow. I don't know how it's going to happen. Maybe with a local owner. But if he hasn't stepped up yet, when is he going to step up? Where are they going to get this guy? So that's a question that still Rack supporters are hoping for or asking Bill Pearson, where is this guy coming from?
Yeah,
it's already almost the offseason. When are they going to get this news?
Yeah, and it's interesting because there's so many moving pieces in the league right now. If you throw in this wild card that Victor Montagliani, who's the president of the CSA, the Canadian Soccer Association, he announced during the Whitecaps game the other night that the CSA is organizing to form a Canadian league. So all those rumors that were going around a couple months ago, they're starting to be concrete. And then you ask the question, Edmonton and Ottawa, what happens, right? And it also kind of kills NASL expansion into Canada if that happens. So all of these moving pieces. We said this a few months ago when we were talking about the league, about how the future was so up in the air. There's no way to predict where it's going to go. And that's part of the excitement. But man, all these things are happening right now, and it's sort of hard to keep up in a way.
So, with you saying that there may be or there is going to be a Canadian soccer league, do you know the timeline of when it will happen? And do you know definitely if Edmonton and Ottawa are going to join?
There are no definites. That's the thing. It was simply a confirmation from the president that they were going to put together a league. There are no further details. And I know that just off the top of my head here, this is not official in any way. Edmonton has pumped a lot of money into NASL, has invested a lot in it, and it's hard to imagine that they would leave easily after essentially losing so much money getting into it, right? Ottawa's a different beast altogether. It's closely tied with the CFL, the Canadian Football League, which is a gridiron league. And there are rumors that the CFL is closely associated with this new soccer league that would start up. So it's all very interesting, and I can't wait for more announcements because just the anticipation of whether Canada finally gets its own league or not is interesting to me.
Would you want to see the team that you support, the Fury, would you want to see them play in a Canadian league, or would you want them to participate and still play in the NASL?
That's the $1 million question, John. I don't know.
But what's your gut feeling?
My gut feeling. Look,
it was up to you.
Man, my gut feeling in a perfect world where all of the proper things align with a TV contract and tons of investment and sponsorship, yeah, I would want Ottawa to be in a Canadian league. Canada deserves its own league. It needs its own league for development of players because the USSF, all respect to them, it's not in their interest to develop Canadian players. They are interested in Canadian dollars from Toronto, Vancouver, Ottawa, Montreal, and Edmonton, but that's not in Canadian interests. Like, if all of the things align, like I said, yeah, but it has to be the right move. It can't be just for patriotic reasons. It has to be the move that makes sense. So we have to wait and see. Before I give you a definite answer on that, we have to wait and see what the other elements are.
So let's change gears here and talk about player awards, some league awards that were released today. Number one, Marc Dos Santos was named Coach of the Year. Theo called it last night. He's the man right there. He called it. He got his money right. He should get paid.
Yeah. I don't think, Vegas would not have taken odds on this. Like, they would have closed the betting. Like I said yesterday, this was not a matter of bias for me. It was just common sense. He is the best manager, the best coach in 2015 in NASL. And it was just, that was the right call today. I'm happy for him. He was interesting. Go read my column I wrote today. There was some interesting quotes in there about how, he took it calmly and in a Marc Dos Santos way, trying not to take too much attention to himself, but trying to give credit to the rest of his staff and the players who made this happen for him, really. And so it's a cool piece, I find, because of the quotes and just the things that he says. The personality that Marc is makes it an interesting column. But that's really all I have to say about that. He is the Coach of the Year, and the NASL recognized it, and good on them.
And the next award that was announced today was Leo Fernandez, midfielder for the New York Cosmos. He got the NASL Young Player of the Year award. Again, he was a great young player. This award is given to players under the age of 23, and he's well-deserved. He was just a great player on the pitch just because the Cosmos got him on loan from the Philadelphia Union, and he started in the first match of the regular season against the Strikers. And ever since then, throughout the season, he was a consistent starter, and he scored goals. He was that playmaker, and hopefully the Cosmos can lock him up, can buy him from the Fury. I mean, can buy him from the Union. But I feel that the Union didn't know his talent before then, and now they are surprised and are shocked that, wow, he's actually good, and they probably want him for the future. So, again, well-deserved to Leo Fernandez.
Yeah, definitely. He is an exciting player to watch. Leo Fernandez is an MLS player playing in NASL, kind of like what we said about Pizer yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm,
And
yep.
I hope for the Cosmos that they can sign him. We've said this. We talked about Leonardo a few weeks ago on the show, and I'll repeat what I said back then. It's surprising that Philadelphia let that guy go because of how terrible they are. Right?
Yeah.
How can you not use a guy like that is beyond me. But good for the Cosmos to do their homework and to go get a young player who contributed immensely to their successful season. So that's on Gio, and maybe a little knock on Jim Curtin over in Philadelphia.
We have a fan question from @BlogFuryFC. He said, which team will have the advantage if the match goes into extra time?
That's a good question. I think that it would help the Cosmos because the Fury have already gone 120 minutes. The turnaround time is a week in between the two matches. It's a good thing that it's a week between matches, but still you have a player like Richie Ryan who went to 120 after missing 5 weeks. You have guys like Rafael Alves, Tommy Heineman, who really looked like they played 120 minutes after that match was over. So, advantage Cosmos. Now, if it goes to penalties, advantage Fury because of Romuald Paiser.
But we can have a cross argument here. Jimmy Maurer, he was bringing PKs against NYCFC, a spectacular saves throughout the whole game. And again, surprising times if the game does go to PKs. It would just be a battle between goalkeepers. And hopefully the Cosmos come up on top. Don't know, just because Paiser is just unstoppable.
Yeah, he's been quite good. I mean, there was a penalty on Sunday, and he didn't stop it. I'm not saying that he stops penalties regularly, and I've never seen him in a penalty shootout, so I don't know. You're right about Maurer. That was quite the match that he had against NYCFC in the U.S. Open Cup. Yeah, all these things are unknowable, and it's fun to just talk about them. So thank you to Blogsmith for sending that question in. But what do you think about who has the advantage going into extra time?
I don't want to be biased because I try not to be on the show, but you have to be. It's Soccer Bowl week. It's final week, and I feel the Cosmos do have the advantage just because our home turf, our home field, we have our supporters there. Well, it's not going to feel like a home game just because we have the away supporters there as well, cheering on the Fury. But I just feel that the Cosmos have the advantage just because it's our home turf. We're used to playing at home, and I feel like we're much better at home as well for so many reasons. And Cosmos have the advantage throughout the whole match.
You talked about that. That's a good assessment. You talked about the fans. You said it won't feel like a home match. How, just generally without a traveling contingent, how are Cosmos fans at games? Are they loud? Do they get involved in chanting, or do they sit on their hands?
I feel like it's a mixed combination of fans.
Okay.
You have your supporter group in the corner behind, or the only seats behind the net, and they're chanting from when they get into the stadium. And then some supporters may say that's called Cosmos or cheer or whatever, but then you have the rest of the crowd who are just silent and maybe just cheer when there's a goal or when there's a big moment in the match. So I feel like there's a mixed combination of supporters of how they react to the game.
Yeah. Okay, so the thing that I've found in my soccer travels is that a traveling contingent can sometimes sound louder than the home crowd because you have the most passionate fans that are traveling, and they're usually organized so they know the songs. So I remember my first Premier League game. I saw Tottenham play against Newcastle at home at White Hart Lane. And what I couldn't get over was how loud the Newcastle section was. And that stuck with me, and I've seen it repeated over my many years. But yeah, it can have an effect, and from my perspective, I hope it happens. We have some really good, passionate fans.
Do you think that the Fury supporters are going to be really loud, or do you think they're going to be intimidated that they're in Cosmos country, essentially?
There is no chance that these guys are going to be intimidated. None. They are. I don't want to use the word hardcore because there's negative connotations to that, but they're passionate, and they're going to walk into that stadium with their heads held high, singing songs, waving flags. Yeah, it's you're going to hear them. You'll know they're there.
Hopefully I do, but hopefully the Cosmos supporters are a bit louder, because you don't want to have the away supporters being louder in your own home. So I feel like there's going to be like a fight of who's louder and who's not louder. But at times, maybe different people are going to be louder than the other. But
sure, hopefully it happens. I really hope that happens, because when that happens, the energy is electric. If you think back a couple of weeks ago when Montreal played Toronto in the MLS, in that playoff game and the game before that to determine who had home field, there was a lot of traveling Toronto fans, and the energy was just mad. It was great. You could feel it. Like the supporters were in a competition to see who could take over that stadium. I hope it happens on Sunday. It would be great in a final to have that. Excellent exposure for the league. And how are ticket sales going? Do you know, for Cosmos for the game?
Well, I was just going to ask you about what do you think about it, but I feel that it's halfway there, because on Twitter throughout the week they were saying, or not the club, but other fans that were playing around with the diagram of if they wanted to buy seats or not.
Yep.
And they were saying that like it's halfway filled and all that. But again, that was in the middle of the week, and I just feel like with a bit more advertisements, some more exposure, that this is their last matches. Raul, Marco Senna, you have the final. If you just spread that word, I feel like it would be sold out by the end of the week. But for the Cosmos, I know it's our home match, but again, it's a final. It's like we're representing the league as a whole. I feel like if the Cosmos get 10,000 or 11,000, that's good. But I feel like other supporters from around the league are going to say, well, it's a final. Why can't you sell out the match? So do you get what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely. And I'm just looking here quickly. So 12,000 is the capacity at Hofstra?
Yes.
Okay. So
about that.
Yeah. That would be your biggest crowd of the year, right?
I think it was 12,000 the first home match of the season.
With the big Raul's
his home debut.
Yeah, his debut. Okay, cool. Yeah, 12,000 would be a really nice turnout and a nice atmosphere for this final. I hope it happens. Get out there and sell some tickets, John.
I'll try to bring friends, tell friends to tell family to tell soccer fans. Yeah, tell everyone, man. You got to tell everyone in Ottawa. Tell the Prime Minister to come down. Do you guys have a Prime Minister?
We do have a Prime Minister, and he didn't come on Sunday, so I don't think he'll make the trip to New York.
He needs to come down. Like you need like all the politicians in Ottawa to come down, or all the big shots in Ottawa.
One day.
And I don't think you know about this, but would you like to see some guests maybe at the match on Sunday?
Hell yeah. I'd like to see Pele. Like,
let's see him.
I haven't seen Pele in my life, and I didn't think I would get to. So this would be awesome if he shows up for the final. I don't know that Pele is able to spin on a dime in his schedule like this, because it was only known Saturday that there would be a match at Hofstra on Sunday. So a week turnaround time. I'm thinking Pele has a busier schedule than just being able to say, yeah, let's go to New York. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm over-exaggerating over what he can do or how busy he is. But it'd be cool to see him. Other than that, any kind of celebrity? Are there celebrity Cosmos fans?
I don't really know. I haven't
No.
seen any
Okay.
celebrity. Well, like I was talking about more like maybe current professional soccer players or maybe ex players coming down maybe to see Raul and Senna's last match because last
Oh,
week
okay.
at MCU Park there was David Villa was there to take in the match. Dax McCarthy was there as well,
Oh,
uh,
cool.
and
Yeah,
Dax
let's get
McCarthy.
Figo. Figo and Raul played together. Let's get Figo up there.
And the weird thing is that Dax McCarthy was all in Cosmos gear, so don't
Oh,
want to
that's
start the
weird.
rumor.
That's not right.
I don't want to start the rumor now. Dax
Yeah.
McCarthy to Cosmos, but I don't know. But
No,
we
no.
might see in the offseason what's happening. But the picture is on Twitter. He tweeted it out that he was at the match. He was pretty excited that the Cosmos won, and he might be at the final because it doesn't interfere with MLS.
Right, because they're taking a break.
Yes.
So yeah, I hope we see.
Ronaldo.
Oh no! You won't see Ronaldo.
Who knows? Who knows? It's Cosmos.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe we'll see. Who else coached Raul? Anyways, nothing comes to top of mind, but we'll see. That's interesting.
Okay, so thank you everyone for tuning into tonight's show. We'll be back tomorrow night talking about all the latest news, all the league awards that are going to be handed out tomorrow, talking about a bit more about the match, a bit more about how much excited we are about Sunday. Hopefully you guys buy your tickets, tell a friend, tell anyone that likes soccer, or if they don't, just bring them there. They'll love it. So if you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comment section below. If you want to just leave your opinions about anything we talked about below in the comment section, leave a like rating, and we will be back tomorrow night. Do you have any last comments, Theo?
No. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. And maybe just a note that we will have our big show on Saturday night to preview the match for real, like to analyze it. And we'll be doing it from the same location. We'll be in the same room.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So Saturday night, watch it live or watch it Sunday on YouTube. You can catch up with all our YouTube videos on Sunday if you want to get into the match. So yeah, look for us.
We are going to create a playlist on YouTube. It's going to be the final playlist. So it's going to have all our videos leading up to the match. So you can just binge watch all our videos until like on Sunday morning. You're going to be watching all our videos leading up to 5 p.m. Because I know, like, me personally, I probably can't sleep Saturday night. So I'll just be watching all our videos leading up to the match.
Right. Awesome. So good night, everyone. And I hope you have an excellent day tomorrow.
And the last thing here, Theo, do you know if there is any update on the Stony Monday Riot bus or the Fury bus coming down to the Big Apple?
Oh, we talked about it right off the top. It's
okay.
They've got one bus confirmed. Or did we talk about it? I can't remember. Well, anyways, there's one bus confirmed. Like, there's going to be a bus of 50 people with Bytown Boys, Stony Monday Riot, and other supporters coming down.
Yes.
We'll see if it's more, but I can't say anything on that yet. Maybe we'll have news about that tomorrow.
Well, if they sold one bus out already, don't you think we will see a second one? Don't you think the demand's there? If you saw how many were at TD Place on Sunday?
Yep. Your powers of logic are amazing, and we will see tomorrow.
Okay. He doesn't want to expand. Okay, so thank you everyone for tuning in. Sorry we went on a bit more, but yeah, you can subscribe if you're new, comment as you see fit. So thank you everyone for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow night.